Good morning, students. Welcome back to biology class, chapter 13, photosynthesis in higher plants, photorespiration. Photorespiration occurs when the carbon dioxide levels inside a leaf become low. This happens on hot, dry days. On hot, dry days, the plant is forced to close the stomata to prevent excess water loss. The plant continues fixed carbon dioxide when its stomata are closed. The carbon dioxide will get used up and then oxygen ratio in the leaf will increase relative to carbon dioxide concentration. When the carbon dioxide levels inside the leaf drop to around 50 ppm, rubisco starts to combine oxygen with the ribulose biphosphate instead of carbon dioxide. The net result of this is that instead of producing two carbon phosphoglyceric acid molecules, only one molecule of PGA is produced and a toxic 2-carbon molecule called phosphoglycolate is produced. The plant must get rid of the phosphoglycolate since it is highly toxic. It converts the molecule to glycolic acid. The glycolic acid is then transported to the peroxisome and there convert to glycine. Respiration that is initiated in chloroplast under high intensity light is called photorespiration. Relative levels of oxygen and carbon dioxide determine occurrence of photorespiration. Since both gases compete for same active site of rubisco, increased oxygen level increases photorespiration, whereas increased carbon dioxide level increases C3 photosynthesis. Oxygenation of ribulose biphosphate results in formation of one molecule of phosphoglycolate 2-carbon compound and one molecule of phosphoglyceric acid. In photorespiratory pathway, there is neither synthesis of sugar nor of ATP. It results in release of carbon dioxide with utilization of ATP. Therefore, photorespiration is a wasteful process. Is photorespiration all wasteful process? Photorespiration has a useful role in protecting the plants from photooxidative damage. When enough carbon dioxide is not available to utilize light energy for carboxylation to proceed, the excess energy may cause damage to plants. Photorespiration utilizes part of light energy and saves the plant from photooxidative damage. See in the picture, 2-phosphoglycolate is a wasteful product. Now we will see what are the factors affecting photosynthesis rate. Photosynthesis is under influence of several factors, both internal of the plant and the external. The plant factors include the number, size, age, orientation of leaves, mesophyll cells and chloroplast, internal carbon dioxide concentration and the amount of chlorophyll. The plant or internal factors are dependent on the genetic predisposition and the growth of the plant. What are the factors affecting photosynthesis? The external factors which affects photosynthesis include the availability of sunlight, temperature, carbon dioxide concentration and water. Now we'll see that is what is Blackman's law of limiting factor. In 1905, if a chemical process is affected by more than one factor, then its rate will be determined by the factor which is nearest to its minimal value. It is the factor which directly affects the process, its quality is changed. Law of limiting factors. The rate of physiological process will be limited by the factor which is in the shortest supply. Any change in the level of a limiting factor will affect the rate of reaction. Law of limiting factor postulated by F.F. Blackman. If a chemical process is affected by more than one factor, then its rate will be determined by the factor which is the nearest to its minimal value, that is the factor which is most limiting. For example, if carbon dioxide is available in plenty but light is limiting due to cloudy weather, the rate of photosynthesis under such a situation will be controlled by light. As the carbon dioxide supply is increased, the rate of photosynthesis is also increased. Any further increase in the supply of carbon dioxide will have no influence upon the rate of photosynthesis. Light has now become the limiting factor, and further increase in the rate of photosynthesis can be brought about only by an increase in the intensity of light. Now we will take the first point, light. Light quality, light intensity and light duration affect photosynthesis. Light saturation occurs at 10% of full sunlight. Hence, except for plants in shade or in dense forest, light is rarely a limiting factor in nature. At higher light intensities, the rate of photosynthesis decreases because of two reasons. Other factors become limiting. Destruction of chlorophyll occurs in presence of oxygen and is called photooxidation. Carotenoids play a protective role by absorbing excess light and diverting it away from chlorophyll, preventing photooxidation. At low intensities of light, there is a linear relationship between incident light and carbon fixation. At high intensities of light, the rate does not show further increase because other factors becoming limiting. Red drop and Emerson effect. Photosynthesis is considered as two quanta process, that is, it takes two light quanta energy to drive as electron. Number of oxygen molecules released can be used to determine the quantum yield of the process. Quantum yield is defined as the number of oxygen molecules released per light quanta absorbed. Emerson and Lewis worked on quantum yield of photosynthesis in a monochromatic light of different wavelength. They observed the quantum yield defined sharply at a wavelength greater than 680 nanometer in the red zone. This decline is called red drop. Later, Emerson found that the sharp decline in the quantum yield of photosynthesis beyond 680 nanometer can be brought to full efficiency by simultaneously providing short wavelength of light. This photosynthetic enhancement is called Emerson effect. Red drop effect. Far red light alone is insufficient in driving photosynthesis. The second point is carbon dioxide concentration. Carbon dioxide is a major limiting factor for photosynthesis. It is important to remember that carbon dioxide is in very low concentration in the atmosphere, that is 0.03 to 0.04%. Increase in concentration up to 0.05 can increase carbon fixation. An increase beyond this level can be damaging over long periods. The C3 and C4 plants respond differently to carbon dioxide concentration. At low light conditions, neither group responds to high carbon dioxide conditions. At high light intensities, both C3 and C4 plants show increase in the rates of photosynthesis. The C4 plants show saturation at about 360, while C3 responds to increased carbon dioxide concentration and saturation is seen only beyond 450. Thus, current availability of carbon dioxide levels is limiting to the C3 plants. C3 plants respond to higher carbon dioxide concentration by showing increased rates of photosynthesis, leading to higher productivity has been used for some greenhouse crops such as tomatoes and bell pepper. They are allowed to grow in carbon dioxide enriched atmosphere that leads to higher yield. Carbon dioxide concentration is major limiting factor. The concentration of carbon dioxide is very low in atmosphere, that you saw that one, 0.03 to 0.04 percentage. The increase in concentration up to 0.05 percentage can cause an increase in carbon dioxide fixation rate. It is called carbon dioxide fertilization effect. C3 and C4 plants respond differently to carbon dioxide concentration. C4 plants show saturation at about 0.036 of, while C3 plants show saturation beyond 0.0545 percentage. Thus, current level of atmospheric carbon dioxide is limiting to C3 plants. Reduced photorespiration due to more availability of carbon dioxide to Rubisco. Some C3 greenhouse crops such as tomatoes and bell pepper are grown in carbon dioxide enriched atmosphere, that leads to the higher yield. Next factor affecting is temperature. Dark reactions are more sensitive to temperature than light reaction. Affinity of enzyme Rubisco for carbon dioxide reduces at higher temperature. C3 plants have lower temperature optimum. In C4 plants, rate of photosynthesis increases with increasing temperature. Temperature optimum for photosynthesis differs as the habitat changes. Tropical plants have higher temperature optimum. Temperate plants have lower temperature optimum. The dark reactions are controlled by temperate because they are enzymatic. Light reactions are also sensitive to temperature but to a much lesser extent. The C4 plants have a much higher temperature optimum than C3 plants. The temperature optimum for a particular plant also depends on its natural habitat. Tropical plants have a higher temperature optimum than temperate plants. See in the picture, the light, temperature, carbon dioxide, how it is affecting the photosynthesis. Next point is soil water. If soil water becomes limiting, plants undergo water stress. Under water stress, the rate of photosynthesis declines because of two factors: stomatal closure and resultant decreases in carbon dioxide supply. Reduced leaf water potential. Low leaf water potential reduces leaf expansion by causing wilting. This results in significant reduction in photosynthetic surface area. Next, nutrient supply. Among various nutrients, nitrogen has a direct relationship with photosynthesis. Nitrogen is a basic constituent of chlorophyll and all enzymes involved in carbon reactions. Any reduction in nitrogen supply has an adverse effect on photosynthesis. Next, leaf factor. If a leaf undergoes senescence or the aging, loss of chlorophyll occurs. Photosynthetic enzymes also get deactivated, resulting in reduced photosynthesis in a senescent leaf. Thank you.